Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, today we're bringing another episode of Android Weekly, but this is a special edition, and this is answering your questions about the Samsung Galaxy S5. So this this video rather, really is to answer all of your questions. So any questions you may have, please ask them in the comment section down below, and I will answer any questions you have about this device. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that I do have about 10 questions that people have emailed me, and if you are not familiar with my shows, every week I do have a Q&A session where you can answer any question you want about any device, and I will do my best to answer it. On the Samsung Galaxy S5, I would say I am one of the foremost experts online of people that know about this device, so I will attempt to answer any and all questions today. So the first question comes from Hiren. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And he asked, I have a question about the texting using a hands-free microphone feature. It was there on my keypad, and now it's not. How do I get it back? Actually, Hiram, funny thing is, I actually had this same thing happen to me. So if you, for any reason, happen to lose your microphone capability, it is actually, so normally you would have your microphone capability right down here in the settings section. And if you do not see it there for some reason, sorry, I'm trying to turn the brightness down as much as possible. So if you do not see it there for any reason, this is what you want to do. I'm trying to go to a non-Google app that doesn't have. Let's go to my Facebook. All right. So if we were to type in here and see, normally, let's turn the volume down a little bit darker so maybe you can see it clearly. So my microphone's there. If it was not there, I'm going to hit this little gear button right here. And if you hit the little gear button, sorry, let me turn that effect down so you guys can see more. All right, so once I am in this screen, what I am going to do is I'm going to scroll to, I want to say, oh yes, actually no. So it's in, if you go actually to settings rather, and then you're going to scroll down to your language and input method, and you have to make sure the Google voice typing is checked off. If it is not checked off, that is what makes it so you don't have the microphone there. So let's just jump back. Now that I've turned it off, you will be able to see that I no longer have the mic there. And I had the same thing happen to me. I was like, wait, what's going on? Where's my mic? So that's all you need to do. Just input, go to language and input, and make sure the Google Voice key is highlighted, and then you can use your voice to text. So that is how you solve that problem if you don't have your mic on your keyboard. And Alex Rudd asked, hey, I have these shortcuts on my friend's phone, and but now I don't see them. What's going on? So what he's talking about is on the, I don't have it on this phone, but normally on the S4 or the Note 3, if you have a swipe to unlock feature on your lock screen, you can have a bunch of shortcut apps right here in this area. However, this is not the case with the S5. They actually got rid of everything that they did with the S4 and the Note 3 in personalization for your lock screen. So you cannot put a widget. You cannot put widgets on the lock screen. You can not have your personal message like you did on the last one, and you cannot have shortcut apps like you did on the last one. The only thing they kept was the camera icon there at the bottom, so you can go right to it. But other than that, everything else is gone from the personalization, which kind of sucks. I kind of liked having lock screen widgets. To be fair, though, I use them far more on the tablet than I do on a phone. I don't use them that much on the phone, but it was just a nice feature, and I liked having the Android guy on there like I do on my other devices. I always have the Android guy on there, so it's just something that I like to have. But yes, on lock screen widget, they got rid of all of that stuff. Next question comes from Chaz Pons. An unrelated question to the Samsung Studio. Could you put a personal message on your lock screen? I love that feature. Is it there on the S5? No. So as I just answered, it is no longer there on the S5. You cannot put a personal message like you used to, unfortunately. All right. William Brady asks, S5 or Note 3 is the subject matter. I know you probably answered this, but I have a Note 3 right now I'm very happy with. So is it worth it to get the S5 to ditch the Note 3? Pros and cons. Thanks for your help. So I did give a video called 5 reasons to switch from the Note 3 to the S5. However, I made that video because a lot of people were asking me, is it worth it? If I were to purchase a phone right now and I had neither, I would get the S5. After spending then look, I have both of them. So I'm very qualified to answer this question. I have both of them. Would I choose the S5 over the Note 3 right now? Yes. The camera is better. I know it's a 13, 16 megapixel, but you have to understand that Sony made the Note 3 camera, and Samsung, this is their first camera that they made on the S5, and it is far, far better. There is no camera out on the market that compares to it. I don't care what anyone says. I will put up to the Lumia 10, 20, whichever one you want. I will put it up to any of them. It is a damn impressive camera all around. I have taken amazing shots with it. That as an ex-photographer, I will say that. And now, to be fair, as an ex-photographer, so I know how to tweak my photos how I want them. But just even the editing, the Samsung Studio editing feature after you take the photos are amazing. But should you ditch your Note 3 for the S5? My general sentiment, especially since you like your Note 3, no, don't do it. Wait for the Note 4. The Note 4 will come out, September, October most likely. The Note 3 came out like the first week of October, if I remember correctly. So wait. It's not that long. I know it might seem like a lot because everyone's raving about their S5 right now and everything like that. But if you love the Note, stick with the Note. I always tell people that. Look, stick with the Note. If you love the Note, stick with the Note. If you love the S series, stick with the S series. Don't move in between them. That's my advice. But if you have to have one right now, I understand. But I would wait for the Note 4 if I was you. Okay, S5 questions. This is from Harry Tig? Harry T asks, okay, I hope this makes it to the Q&A. I don't own an S5 yet. I love the phone. I do love this phone over the M8. Few select. I know I'm a few select to do. I do have some questions. I'm actually with you. I have both phones, and I use the S5 way more than I do the M8. When phone connects to Bluetooth in my car, it always plays Horizon. Oh, so on your phone, it seems to be automatically playing the song that it comes with. It shouldn't. I'm not sure why it's doing that. How do you make this stop? Try removing your pairing from your Bluetooth and then repairing it, and that should hopefully take care of it. If you have the S5, can you look at the camera in the light? Does it have an extra piece of plastic on the lens? I'm not talking about you first get the phone, take it off the plastic. So it has a plastic around the lens, which I think is what you're referring to. So there's a plastic sheet that comes with your phone, and it's around the lens, just like the inner black part around here, not the lens itself, but around the lens that comes with it. I took that off, but yes. So there is that, if that's what you're referring to. Is there anything you suggest to raise the volume on the speaker or the earpiece? No, but I have no problem with the earpiece. I have no problem whatsoever with the earpiece. Now the speaker, there's actually a really, really cool speaker that I'm about to review that I think is really neat. It's a speaker that has a wallet in the back, and that's why I wanted it. But it's actually interesting. So it has this thing that makes it curve to the front. So it essentially makes it a front speaker. That's my understanding of it. How well will this work? Well, that's what I'm waiting to see. So I'm really curious about that, but I just ordered it for the phone. I should get it before the end of this week, so hopefully I will have a video up for it next week. Not this upcoming week, the week after. But yeah, so that's how I would do it. Is it true that the 2800 battery life runs the same as the Note 2 or the Note 3? It seems more that the Note series has... So, does it? So here's the thing, full disclaimer. Mine is a international version, which means I do not have LTE, which also means that this phone is constantly searching for signal. Now, my friends that have the US version that I hate because they have LTE on theirs, they have told me that they get about 2 days worth on their phone. I definitely get 1 day. However, I can tell you on ultra power save mode, I get ridiculous battery life, and I mean just ridiculous battery life. So, does it compare to the Note 3 in battery life? Well, again, it's kind of hard for me to personally say because this constantly searches for signal the whole day, so I feel like it does kind of drain quickly sometimes. But on a normal basis, it wouldn't if it was a US variant, which I'm going to buy the US variant myself. I'm going to pay money myself for the US variant as soon as I get a 32 gig Samsung. I want a 32 gig. But as soon as I get that, I will by all means get it. Now, so which one is better on battery life? Here's the thing. Statistically, the S5 in testing has outperformed the Note 3 on battery life. In my day-to-day usage, my Note 3 has outlasted it, but again, I have the non-LTE version that constantly searches for signal, so it drains quicker. So that is what I have to say about that. So from what I've heard, yes, it should match it, no problem. Do you still need an app killer for the S5? God, no. Do not use an app killer. And for everyone watching, app killers are never to be downloaded on your phone. Repeat after me. You will never download an app killer. They are worthless. They are horrible. They only slow down your phone. They do nothing to help your phone anymore. It was great beforehand, but it is not great anymore. It's just I do not have an app killer. Whatever you do. If you are watching us, there was about 10 or 11 questions that were emailed to me before the show started, so I am answering those, but I will be answering all questions in the comments section down below. If you do have any questions that are after, please make sure to email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com. Okay, the next question comes from Lazaros, and that question is about can you please tell me if it's worth it for me it's worth it for me to give me an iPhone if it's worth it to give my iPhone 5S for my S4 and S5. I hear that Androids get a lot of viruses. Is this real? No, there is no viruses on Android. I don't care what you've heard anywhere. There's no viruses on Android. If you think there's viruses, it's only if you go to like porn sites, if you download from torrents or stuff like that. The same thing, the same way you can get viruses on a computer is the only way you can get viruses on Android. If you download apps from the Google Play Store, you will never get a virus. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. I don't care what anyone has told you. It is a lie. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. So yes, there is no viruses on Android, plain and simple. So yes, there is no viruses on Android. Sorry, I keep getting all these messages. I see. So there's no viruses on Android. All right, Jesus Jones asks, what do you think about the new Samsung design? It's supposed to be for the Note 4. What he's talking about is supposedly on the Note 4, we are going to have the screen wrap around to the side. You can see this if you check out the Samsung Yum. I want to say it's spelled Y-U or Y-U-M or something like that. I think it's Y-U-M. No, Y-U-U-M? I think it was something spelled like that, but it's basically a curved technology where you can bend the screen. So this is the rumor right now on the Note 4. What do I think about that? Well, I'm curious about that. So I'm more so like, what would be the purpose? The idea that I got when I saw that display for the first time was the guy at Samsung who was on stage pulled out his phone, and he had a cover that covered up his screen right here, and then he could read his text message right here. that was really cool. So if I could basically take my phone out and kind of see who was texting me right then and there, that that is really cool. I can just literally like pull it out of my pocket, see who's texting me, and then put it right back in. That's a cool concept, but I don't know. I think it's neat. Will it make me get the phone? No. But I mean, it's another additional cool feature. So yeah, that's kind of what I had to think about it. All right. If any of the new S5 hardware features will be included on the Note 4, heart rate monitor, dust and water resistant, especially with the S Pen, fingerprint scanner. Yes. So I completely believe everything on the S5 will translate to the Note 4. I'm 100% a belief in that. So heart rate monitor will be there. Water resistance and dust resistance will be there, and you don't have to worry about the S Pen because if you didn't notice, the headphone port is exposed. That is a lot more dangerous compared to the S Pen. The S Pen is actually completely closed off where it tucks in. There is no like entryway into the phone through the S Pen slot. So yeah, there's nothing where that comes in. When is or if the Nexus 10 coming out? Do you think they will make a Nexus 7 third generation instead of the Nexus 8? Do I think they will make the Nexus 7 or the Nexus 8? For Nexus devices, I essentially believe that they will make a next generation Nexus 7 and they will make a Nexus 8. I do believe both are coming, and I believe we will hear about it at Google I/O in June. That is my belief. If I'm right, we'll see. But I definitely would bet that that is the time when we will see it. Yes. And what do you think about the OnePlus being a flagship type, cheaper than the S5? So for those of you who don't know, he's talking about a new phone from a company called CyanogenMod, yes, CyanogenMod is basically the company, OPA, but yeah, the company behind it, and the idea behind it is to have all of the hardware specs of a flagship in a much cheaper phone compared to a flagship. The thing is all of this with the flagship won't really come to the U.S. The OnePlus One will not be popular in the U.S. Overseas, yes, it will be popular, but it just won't be popular in the U.S. That's all there is to it. It's not, people don't know about it as much, so they're just not going to be as popular. I think it's an amazing phone. I want to play with it, and I'm definitely thinking about getting it for the channel for you guys. So if you are interested, please let me know down below. And for those of you guys, again, that are joining us, leave your questions in the comment section. We got 3 more emails to answer, and then I will be going to the comment section. My question is about the keyboard, talk and text, and the upper symbol. Is this going to be the same question, actually? Videos. Oh, so you're going to do something similar to what I said earlier. He basically has another keyboard, and that's what he is talking about. So what you're going to do is you are going to go to your phone. Oh, the wrong one. Sorry, to the S5. You are going to go to your phone, and you're going to go to language and input. So you're going to go to language and input. And you're going to make sure it's the Samsung keyboard. Certain carriers will actually give you the, what the heck is it? The swipe keyboard. Some carriers like to give you the swipe keyboard besides the Samsung keyboard, and that is the one you have on there. Steve Miller, sorry. So Steve Miller, that is essentially what you have on there. And to make sure you can use curse words on there, which is your second question, you just want to make sure that you on predictive text. So in here under the Samsung keyboard under predictive text, you have it learn your data and learn from your Gmail, email, Facebook, and all that fun stuff. If you haven't learned that, it will be able to have all your curse words that you normally use, and you'll be fine. All right, Omar, ask. Does it get hot? So on the Galaxy S5 gaming review, does it get hot as some sites have said with the GPU and CPU? The S5 rarely gets hot. It does sometimes, don't get me wrong, but in the gaming review, it didn't get hot at all. So no, it doesn't really get that hot. That's one of the nice things about plastic. You can say what you will, but one of the nice things about plastic is it doesn't get as hot as compared to metal. You used the Note 3, and now you're using the S5. Which one is better in terms of camera and gaming? So into camera, no comparison. S5, just no comparison. Nope, you can't make any. There's nothing that makes the Note 3 better. Its camera is the S5. Gaming, gaming. There's not much of a difference. There's really not. The gaming performance on the processor for the S5 is only supposed to be 20% better, so it's not like it's 50% better or something like that. But it runs everything smoothly. So I would say that probably gaming at the end of the day would be the S5 as well. But easily noticeable camera is just easily noticeable. If you put them side by side, it's very easy to notice which one's better. However, in terms of gaming, I would say that's closer, but it still most likely would be the S5. All right, and the last emailed question before we get to the comment section. And that is Frank. Frank asks, I subscribe to your YouTube channel, big fan. Thank you very much. I have also been very wondering, help me out. I want to. This is a great question about the S5 because I'm going to do a video on this because I've had a lot of people really get this wrong. So I wanted to clarify this for everyone. I want to purchase an SD card for my storage, and bigger is better, right? But I'm concerned about performance. Have you done a video on this, or do you have any recommendations? So absolutely. So you do not get a regular memory card for the S5. For that matter, you don't want to get a regular memory card for any device that has over an 8 megapixel camera. Here is why. We are going to safely unmount this first. Sorry. Okay. So you get a specific memory card, and that is a high-speed memory card. So you get a high-speed memory card, and the reason is because your camera is trying to push data onto this memory card. But because your SD card is too slow, it will corrupt files. So if you ever had an S4, S5, Note 3, or anything basically better than an 8 megapixel camera, you have probably gotten this little guy, a guy just there and with a corrupt lightning bolt across him. And what that is telling you is that you have essentially done something wrong because the file has been corrupted. So what you do to never have this happen is you get a high-speed SD card. So you can see my high-speed SD card right here. This is an Ultra. This is a Class 10 SD card from SanDisk. And I trust SanDisk more than any other company. You can feel free to choose whichever company you want, but I definitely trust SanDisk more than any other company. You need a fast memory card. It needs to be Class 8 or Class 10 to do properly. You can get away with Class 4, but Class 2 is not acceptable whatsoever. And I recommend better. I definitely do recommend better. So I would recommend getting a Class 10 memory card. That way you never have corrupted files, and it can mess up your phone in a lot of ways. So for one, it can mess up your phone it just runs slow. Your phone will run faster once you get rid of the old memory card to get to the new one. Your phone will run faster. Two, your pictures can be corrupted after you've taken them, after you've even seen them. So I had this happen to a friend, and it really sucked, but he took photos on a vacation. He came back from his vacation, and the photos were messed up. Half of them were completely gone. And it was because he had an old memory card. It was a cheaper memory card. It was, I think, PNY, and it messed up, so he no longer has photos from that trip. And that sucks more than anything. It's not worth it to save $20 or save you know, 15 bucks, 10 bucks, or whatever the price difference is between the cheap memory card and the faster speed memory card, get the faster speed memory card, because if that happens to you, you will hate it. You will hate it completely. So it is not worth it. Please never do that. Okay? All right. Now let's get to the viewer questions. I will try to answer them in the order they were placed. So let's do that. And if you have any questions, answer them. Just ask them in the comment section down below, and I'm going to go in order. Dotson232 asks, how has the phone stood up? What can you do? What can you do? What can you not do? Or what can you not do with the phone at the center level of activity? At a certain level of activity. So what can the phone not? What can the phone do? The phone can take freaking amazing pictures. Best cell phone camera. Again, I cannot state that. It is definitely impressed me on the cell phone camera. I've used every camera out there. I have the M8. I have shot plenty of photos with the iPhone 5S. I have used the Nokia Icon, and I have used every Samsung device, and I've used the G2. No camera compares to the S5. It outperforms them, plain and simple. So camera-wise, it's amazing. Battery, again, if you were hearing earlier, my battery life won't be the same compared to everyone else's, but it's still good. I mean, I always get past the day. What can it not do? That's what I'm really trying to think of. What would I want it to do that it couldn't do? Really, it's more the question. I like the one-handed operation when I need to use one hand. That's definitely something for me What can it not do that I'm really pissed about? I am so upset of Samsung for taking away Knox. Knox was a great feature on the Note and on the S4 and on their tablets that allows me to divide personal and work. And Samsung took it away on the S5, and they don't plan on putting it on there. They wanted to take away the consumer version of Knox and I guess make it only for enterprise to use, which that's one thing that annoyed me, and that might not make a big deal for a lot of people, but I loved Knox. It really separated my phone, and it was perfect. I really liked it. The fingerprint scanner works about 80 to 90% of the time, so it works most of the time, despite what you hear online. It's had already an update for the fingerprint scanner, and I mean, it's not hard at all for me to use it. I mean, like, people complain about it and everything like that, but it's not that difficult to use. You really just go like that, and oops, and there it goes. But yeah, it's I mean, very easy for me to use. I use it all the time, and like I said, easily it works the majority of the time. So I think that was kind of blown out of proportion, but yeah. I mean, the speakers are definitely something to be that could be improved. Although water-resistant devices are rarely have good speakers, so that's just one thing about them. But yeah, I don't know what else it couldn't do. It does. It's the closest thing to the whole package that I have yet to see. All right, Jason asked, have you ever looked into the element cases for the S5s? If you have, what do you think of them? I have not looked into the element cases for the S5. What are these element cases? Let's see. And I will tell you what I think of them. Let's see. Element cases for the S5. Very, very rugged, I see. I mean, man, they look like they can take a beating. I mean, this looks awesome. Very sound system. SBS sound system speaker. Oh, does this move like the speaker to the front? If it does, that's really cool. If it does move the speaker to the front, that is really cool, and that is probably the feature that I would look for the most. I was going to say, I mean, this is cool, but it seems like just like another rugged phone, kind of like the OtterBox, which I just got one, so I'm going to be reviewing that one then too. But yeah, the sound element is the thing I'm far most interested in now looking at this. But I will take a look at it and follow up with you on that. Who knows? Maybe I might contact them and see about getting a case from them. That looks awesome. El Samurai El Samurai Guapo asks, since you have appeared to both the new HTC One and the S5 in your hands, which of these has become your daily driver and why? So here's the thing. Because yes, I do have the HTC and the Galaxy S5. Which one do I use on a daily basis? Is the HTC One or is the S5? So between the two of these, S5. Why? Because I could totally rock this HTC One, but then, damn it, I don't have my other thing to make it a more dramatic effect. I could totally rock the HTC One M8, but I would have to have my camera with me, because honestly, these pictures are just not acceptable. Especially during the day. It does do a better job at night, but during the day, these photos. And don't get me wrong, I'm a snob. I'm not a snob. Well, I'm a sort of a photo snob when it comes to taking photos. I need really good photos. I get annoyed if they don't come out right. And, you know, I fine-tune them, and I like to do a lot of that stuff. But I just have not liked the HTC One photos, and they're really not good during the day. So why is the HTC One not my daily driver? Because of the camera. I was even thinking about doing a parody to the HTC, although I just didn't want them to get upset. But I was thinking about doing a parody thing, like, because, you know, their campaign right now is Ask the Internet. Well, HTC, this is the Internet, and your camera sucks. So that's honestly why I don't have it as my daily driver, and that's the main thing. It's a great phone. Other than that, but I need a good camera, and the HTC One cannot provide the kind of camera quality I want. And that's all there is to it. I mean, if I had that, it would be a lot better. But that's my main thing. I need a good camera. All right. Eve Hill asks, will you be doing reviews on the Pressy or the Go Key? I am one of the not sponsors, but the backers. I'm one of the backers for the Pressy, so I should be getting it, but they've been having so many delays. You know, it's just in the experience with these companies, they have a lot of delays. With all these startup companies, and look, I get it. They're first-time companies. They're coming out. They're trying to get these devices running up off the ground, and yeah, the Pressy has had a lot of delays. Still haven't got mine yet, but I'm waiting for it, so we'll see when I do get it. I thought it was a really cool thing. It seemed really interesting. I'm interested to see it. All right, is that all the questions? Let's refresh here. Oops. Sorry, it seems like the connection is going a little bit bad. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions you guys have. Trying to see if there's any other questions. Is there an app killer, or is there an app killer the same as a task killer? Yes. So do not download an app killer or a task killer for the device. Here's how you clear your apps. So if you want to clear your apps on the S5, you hit the multi-screen button, and then you hit this. This will clear your apps. This is how Google intends to clear your apps. It is better than any third-party thing you download. The other thing, if you want to go to an extreme and do it, is you can hit this graph bar right here, and then you can end all in your RAM. This will end all in your RAM. So it'll clear your RAM and everything that is running in there, and then your RAM will be running with no apps in the background. So if you really want to go to extremes, do that, but do not download a task killer. It's only going to drain your battery more. It's going to mess up your phone. I don't care what anyone tells you. If they're telling you that a task killer does a better job and it makes your phone better, they don't know what a kernel is. They don't know how kernels work on Android, and it's not going to make it better. It's just not. I'm sorry. It just will not make it better. No, do not download a third-party app killer, task killer, anything like that. Do not download it. All right, guys, I think we are coming towards the end of it, and I did not see any other questions. So, with that, oh, wait, one more question. Do normal chargers still work on the Galaxy S5? From Jason. Yes. So that's a good question, and it's one that I will address. So here's the thing. So the Galaxy S5 has a different looking charger, right? You're like, oh my God, what is that? It's actually just a micro USB charger. So this side is a micro USB charger. And luckily, since I am a crazy techie, I have both chargers right here. So you have a standard micro USB. It plugs into the S5, no problem. You have also this one. This is the one that comes with it. This is a USB 3.0. That's why it has the double-sided thing. No, this is not an HDMI thing. It's not something special like that. This is just an extension of this. Now, this can be used to charge your phone, or this is actually the same standard that plugs in an external hard drive that's a portable hard drive into your computer. USB 3.0 simply means that this will be able to transfer quicker. So you'll be able to transfer to your computer much quicker, and you can charge your device much quicker. So between these two, this will charge your phone in probably about an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours. This will charge your phone in about 40 minutes. So it's a much, much quicker charge. Here's the thing, too, that a lot of people don't know, and I'm going to tell you about it right now. Most people don't know that the micro SD cards, or sorry, not micro SD card, the micro USB for Samsung is different from the micro USB you buy at a store. So here's some interesting information, guys. The micro USB you guys purchase at stores like Best Buy, T-Mobile, anything like that, those are what you call 5-pin micro USBs. Here's the thing. Samsung uses 9-pin micro USBs. They've done this since the Samsung Galaxy S3. So if you buy a third-party charger that is not Samsung, your phone will take longer to charge than if you bought it from like Samsung's website or a Samsung branded USB charger. So that is some information that a lot of people don't know about. So I kind of always talk about it because it's something that a lot of people don't know. If you buy like a third-party charger because it's cool and it's, you know, pink, purple, green, whatever color you like in your micro USB charger, it's going to charge your phone, but it's going to take longer. If you have a Samsung charger, it will charge quicker. It is also important to note that it is a 2-amp charger. So phones like the HTC come with a 1.5 amp charger or a 1-amp charger on the old HTC. If you plugged in a Samsung micro USB into that one, it would run a little bit hot. And that's because it's charging at either 0.5 or double the rate it's used to charging at. And it's not ideal for the battery. So yes, so you want to always get a Samsung branded charger. And that's a really nice, important information that a lot of people don't know about, that you do want to always have a Samsung charger as opposed to just like a charger you buy at a store. It is actually better for the device, and it charges quicker. So it's really good. Like my car charger is a Samsung car charger, and it charges my phone a lot quicker compared to like the third-party car charger that I bought. That is a 2-amp charger, so it has the same amperage, but it doesn't have the 9 pins. It has the 5 pins, so therefore it charges slower. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this session of Samsung Q&A. Do you want me to do another one of these? Please let me know in the comment section down below. If you find these helpful, I will keep doing them. It got a lot of views last time, and we'll see how it does this time. As well, please give a like, thumbs up. It helps me out a lot, and continue to support my channel and spread the love. All right, guys, thank you for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.